Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and this is the trade breakdown for today, Friday the 3rd of October. Guys, today I overtraded. I follow most of my rules, but one of my rules I broke it, which was overtrading. It could have been a lot worse, but I'm happy that it didn't end up where it would have gone if I had continued trading, or if I had sized up or something. So I still, kind of love-hate kind of relationship right now, because I broke my rules and I am down. Currently I'm down on my account. I am currently down on my account. I'm down $185.34. It could have been a lot worse than that. At one point in time, I was down over $450. I'm happy that I brought it back down to $185. Today was, well, if you know what you are looking for, it would have been easy for you, because the longs, you could have made money on longs, you could have made money on short today. Today I was short, I was bearish. I was looking for short trades today, and this is why I was looking for short trade. This is the daily chart. NQ on the left hand side, ES on the right hand side. We're on the daily chart. This is today trading. This is today's trading right here. This bearish candle is today's trading on NQ. So I came into the market today, and that is what I saw. We had taken this external liquidity. We had taken this external liquidity, and we had this internal liquidity here yet to be traded to. So that was one confluence that I was bearish today. Second one is that we have Friday. Today is Friday. Second one is today is Friday, and I was looking for the weekly chart to retrace to about 30% back into the range. That's the next confluence of bearish price action today. So I went down to the next time frame is the 4 hour. I went down to the 4 hour. It was about here. So there is nothing that I saw that would have turned me to bearish price action. We had already traded down to this fair value gap already on the lower time frame. What I saw on this time frame is this fair value gap there, which was inverted right here this morning. So that would have been a next confluence of bearish price action. But I got my other confluence on the 1 hour time frame. So when I did my pre-market analysis, price was here. I did it about 8 o'clock. Price was here on the 1 hour time frame, and we had on NQ, we had this breaker pattern here with this high, low, higher high. This is a swing low right here, swing high right here, high, low, higher high, and we broke with displacement, making this giving us this two fair value gap right here, stack on top of each other. Guys, that I look for these fair value gaps stack on top each other to give me a bias and to know where price is heading to. This one is a very small fair value gap, but it is still a fair value gap. So you guys already know that when you have the displacement, I want to see price trade back to this fair value gap and not to this one on a good day. On a medium day or intermediate day, I'd want to see price can trade to this but not completely fill it up. On other days when price action is not that good, you'll see price trade you'll see price trade back to this fair value gap but not close outside it and continue in its direction. So guys, this was my next confluence that I was bearish today. So let's go onto this regular trading hour chart. So when price open, guys, next confluence for bearish action for the day is that, or for the day or for a session, but I was looking for bearish price action. We open with a gap below, so I was looking for price to trade down to this gap to take it out, to fill this gap. Before market open, we mark out our lows, our highs, and our both open 8:30 open and our 12 midnight open. Our highs and our lows between 7 o'clock and 8:30 a.m. we mark that out. So this morning on NQ, this was our low right here. This was our lowest low between 7 and 8:30. This was our highest high between 7 and 8:30. This was our highest high. On ES, this was our lowest low. This was our highest high. So at open, at 9:30 open, we had already taken this low already. We had already taken the lows on ES, and we have already taken the low on NQ. So we were looking for the highs to be taken. So this is market open. We open trade down to the gap, filling it with a wick. Traded down to the gap, filling it with a wick, and we traded what below the both open. That put us in a deep discount. So we were looking for higher prices to take us to the highs and to the midnight open before trading down to the daily fair value gap and to fill the gap. So guys, now we have our both chart side to side with ES and NQ. This is a mess this morning. I took three losses this morning, but most of these losses were according to my plan. So guys, it wasn't that bad this morning. Most of these losses, I follow my plan. So guys, after let's go to this chart. So after price open, we traded down, fill the gap with this wick. Let's go back to regular trading hours. Fill this gap with this wick. This is open right here. Traded down, fill this gap with this wick. Was looking for price to trade up to take out these highs and to trade towards the 12 o'clock midnight open. So when price traded down, so that price was displacing up. When price started displacing up, I saw this breaker here, low, high, lower, low. So my mindset was, if price came back down to test this breaker, I was going to take a long towards these highs, to take out these highs before we roll over to trade bearish. So as you can see, the executions right here, I went in small because this trade was against my bias. So as you can see, when price came down here, I took one contract here. When price tests the breaker, one contract here, and I was looking for the highs. But as you can see, ES was a lot stronger than NQ this morning. So about that area on ES here, that is when I took the long. As you can see, price on ES traded towards the highs between 7 a.m. and 8:30 a.m. It traded towards the highs and towards the 12 o'clock midnight. So guys, when I saw that price was taking the highs on the ES, normally a lot of the times we have SMT with these highs. So as soon as I saw that price was taking the highs on ES, I placed my stop at break even, and price was going, but then we had some news that came out and stopped me out at break even. We had red folder news also at 10 a.m. this morning, also 10 a.m. So after the candle stopped me out, we end up moving back up towards the midnight, touching the midnight open right here, and we didn't trade and take the 7 o'clock to 8:30 a.m. highs. As you can see it right here on this chart, we didn't take this high. So we had a SMT with ES. As you can see, ES took this high and traded way above these highs, while NQ stayed below this high. So we had an SMT. After we had the SMT, price hitting the midnight open on the on the mini chart, on the micro chart, sorry. Price hitting midnight open on the micro chart, but did not hit it on the mini chart right here. So we had SMT right here, and then price started displacing when price traded below here. It was the time, yes, it was 9:54. So my trading plan is, when we have news, do not take any trade before the news. So I was waiting for the news to come out before I take a trade. On this candle here, it was 9:55. We closed below this breaker here. We have this high, low, higher high, displace through that. So we had this breaker here. If we didn't have news, I would have taken a short right here as price closed below the closing price here, and then traded back up to it. I would have taken a short right here. I would have placed my stop maybe somewhere above the first presented FVG, but there was news, so I didn't take that trade. I was following my trading plan. So around that area here, that was the news candle right here, 10 a.m. We had 10 a.m. news. So this was news, and at news, when news came out, price continued bearish. I was looking forward for the news to manipulate and trade it back up to this first fair value gap here. As you can see, we have the same fractal model right here on the 1 minute time frame. We have this fair value gap here, and we have this higher one right here, breaking the lows of this breaker right here. So as you guys know, I would not want to see price trade up to this one. I would want to see price trade up to here and reverse and continue lower. Okay guys, so you can see it better on the 5 minute time frame. So on the 5 minute time frame, you also have it here as well. You have this break on the 5 minutes time frame also. You have this high, low, higher high, price breaking lower. We have this fair value gap here, stack on top of this fair value gap here. I would mark this out as a breakaway gap on the 5 minute also. So guys, so now I'm going to tell you guys and explain to you guys why I took all these short trades that ended up in losses. Only probably one of this trade I could have avoided according to my plan. I could have avoided. So guys, on this displacement leg, we were looking for price to trade back to discount of this range, which is 50% or higher, displace down with a fair value gap, which I would take for entry, and price to continue lower. So guys, on ES, about that area here, and price was about that area here, we traded to discount. NQ was right here. We didn't have a market structure shift nor displacement, so price again make a next leg trading higher with ES right here. Now we are at the 0.62 on the fib. At this moment, we had this displacement down on NQ with this market structure shift, closing below this, trading below this low, and closing below this low with a small fair value gap right here. So as soon as price closed here, we had a change in the state. I took one contract, I think, and then when price retraced back up higher, I took a next 2 contracts. Price went in my favor a bit, but then retraced, took me out here. This one couldn't have been avoided. I follow my trading plan with this trade. This one I could have avoided, because after I got stopped out, price displaced down. We had this fair value gap here. Let's take out this trade because we already explained this one. So we have this fair value gap right here. We have this fair value gap right there. Price inverted this, and when I saw price inverted this fair value gap, I took 3 contracts. 3 contracts here. Price reversed and took me out. Took me out here. So that was my second loss. I could have avoided this loss because there was no market structure shift. There was no market structure shift. We didn't close below any low. So I should have waited for price to at least come below this low, breaking this low with a fair value gap for entry before I took my next shot. So, and at this point in time, I took a next shot right here. Let's take out this one because we already explained it. We took a next shot right here when price ES made SMT with ES with the highs. At this point in moment, price ES was above these highs. ES was above these highs right here. We were above these highs on ES, and I saw this displacement down with a market structure shift right here. A close, I think price had closed. Yes, we closed below this fair value gap, so we inverted this fair value gap. Then price was trading back up. I took 2 contracts, and then we got stopped out here. At this point in time, I was down about $450. So I was watching price. Then about here, on the 1 minute, we had the 2 fair value gaps stacked on top of each other, breaking the low. So I had this mark out still. So when I saw price traded down and started displacing back up, we closed above this fair value gap right here. I took 1 contract. Then price went in my favor. We displaced up. As we displaced up, we came back down into this fair value gap right here. I took a next contract, bringing up my stop. Then price traded above the first presented fair value gap. I brought my stops to break even. Price retraced, took me out. Then I saw price displacing up again, not really displacing but trading up again. I took 1 contract again because I wanted to see these highs taken. As you can see, price made these equal highs on NQ, although we took it on ES, but it made equal highs. So I thought that price was going to take out these highs. So that's why I changed my bias to bullish. So after I took this contract here for the longs to take out the highs. I placed my stop below this other block right here, because I didn't want to see price come back below this other block. If we close above the first presented fair value gap, I wanted to see price displace towards the midnight open and the highs. So price came back down, took me out under this with my stops was under this. At this point in time, I zoom out, I look at the chart. I saw that we were making this high, this pattern right here. We had an intermediate high right here, and an intermediate high is with a high with 2 short terms high on each side of it. So when I saw that price made this high, give us a SMT with ES, you will see it better on the mini chart. Made a SMT with ES right here. ES taking this high, NQ not taking this high, give us the intermediate high, and where are we? We are inside the breakaway fair value gap on the 1 hour, and again on inside the or around the area of the first presented FVG. So this was a high area of interest, and we give us this intermediate high followed by displacement down. When I saw that price displaced down with this intermediate high, displaced and close under here, under this candle here, when we close, I took one contract. Price went in my favor. Then we retrace back up to this fair value gap. I took a next one contract. So I had two contracts on this trade with my stops above here. I was looking for the lows of this morning. Let's go to this chart right here. I was looking for these lows right here to be taken and for us to trade to the daily fair value gap, which I don't have marked out on this chart, but it's okay. Yeah, so guys, I placed my stop here. At this moment in time, I had two contracts here on the chart. I didn't take any partial until we took out these lows. As you can see, when we took out these lows, I took up one partial here. I took up one contract and I placed my stops at break even. I think my stop, no, when we did this leg in price, when we close here, I placed my stop at break even. When price closed under here, my stops were at break even. Then we did this retracement and then we displaced down towards the low, and I brought my stop above this high. When price took out this low, I took out one contract. As you can see, for the execution, I took out one when we took out these lows, and then I brought my stops. I think my stops was right here, somewhere above there. Here, I placed my stop here. I was looking for the total trade. I was looking for price to trade down to this previous day low. This was previous day low. So I was looking for price to trade down to previous day low. But I placed I kind of trailed my stops a little too tight. I trailed my stop a little bit too tight. It was somewhere around here, and price came, took me out, and continued to take out the previous day low. So in that, all in all, from here to about here, that was about a 1 to 5, say 1 to 6. About this point in time, with these two contracts that I took out, I was risking somewhere about $50 to $60. So as you can see, this should have been about a $200 trade here, $200+ trade. That would have been about a 1 to 4, 1 to 5 risk to reward. That was the trade I was looking for all morning, but price was a little bit choppy. All in all, I should have gotten it here when ES traded to discount of the range, and NQ made this displacement. This first trade I took, if it was on a good day, that would have played out. So guys, thanks for watching this video. Be sure to subscribe, be sure to support the channel, comment, share the video. Peace out.